Good evening. This is Alter Ego number 1 for KRAZ TV. We have breaking news, so let's turn it over to Alter Ego number 2. Alter Ego number 2, are you there?
Thank you, Alter Ego number 1. Yes, indeed, we do have a live report. We've heard evidence that Mr. Gary L. Wimmer, L being for local, of course, has been writing, giving readings, performing music, acting, flying all across the universe, and generally acting weird. And he recently had rather a strange incident with EMS in St. David's Hospital, but let's let him explain in his own words. Mr. Wimmer?
At a convention on November 21st, 2010, I got sick. One of my friends called EMS, even though I'd asked them not to. But when EMS arrived, I told them to take me to Seton, where I had a $100 copay through HAM, the Health Alliance for Austin Musicians. Now, they could have taken me to any one of Seton's fine hospitals, even one that's now history. But instead, they took me to St. David's. I later found out EMS often takes people to St. David's rather than Seton. Now, this did bother me, especially since I had witnesses in the parking lot who heard me tell EMS to take me to Seton Hospital. Furthermore, according to Google Maps, from 6000 Mid-Fiskville Road to Seton Hospital at 1201 West 38th Street is 3.1 miles or 10 to 11 minutes. And from the 6000 block of Mid-Fiskville Road to St. David's Hospital at 912 East 32nd is 3.7 miles or 7 to 9 minutes. Kind of a toss-up, I would say. And instead of a $100 copay through HAM, I got a St. David's bill for $3,628.80. a doctor's bill for $631, and an MS bill for $958.44, which I thought was rather ridiculous because EMS was partially responsible for these bills in the first place. Anyway, in late March, I was leaving Johnson City en route back to my house in Austin, driving down the beautiful countryside, and I stopped in Dripping Springs, where I bought some homemade bread and some starter plants that a lady talked me into buying. Well, I'm no Superman. In fact, I'm getting a little bit rusty and, well, I can barely walk. But I wanted to see my starter plants turn into a big jungle, so one day I just said, to hell with you, Payne, watch this. First, however, I realized I had to transform myself from someone who gets tangled up just thinking about hoses and yard work into Mr. Green Thumb. And that meant I had to replant my starter plants, which I'd already transplanted into bigger containers, but they just kept growing and growing. And then I started thinking about raised gardens, so I built 2, one step at a time. And the darn things kept growing and growing and growing, and producing tomatoes and basil and peppermint and all kinds of things.
Now, I got so damn many tomatoes, all I do is eat them. One day.
Cut and take 2, that was terrible.
And now I have so many tomatoes, I just eat them. One day's worth. Not bad.
Meanwhile, I kept making payments on my St. David's bill, my EMS bill, and my doctor's bill. Then in June, I contacted the city law department to see if they could look into it. As you can see from the letter they sent back, the message is simple.
Sorry, pal. You're responsible for all these bills.
All that said, I did publish my first book, Lithomancy, The Psychic Art of Reading Stones, and I'm about to publish my second book about when I really did go crazy. It is called A Second in Eternity. So why did I go crazy back in February of 1977? Well, it could have been genes, could have been environment, and it could have been
just the way I am.
Meanwhile, I'm out picking my tomatoes every day. Grateful.